Hi everybody, good morning. Red Witch here. I am letting you see my card charger, which is this right here. And it was made by the most creative, Lena Soul. Someone asked me, what was on my cards. Whoops, my cards are sticking here. So one of my deities is Hecate. And this is all representing her. And if you want something like this, you can get in touch with Nina. Her number is 773-704-7076, and you can let her know that you're interested in a card charger, and you can tell her what you'd like in it. Alrighty, so let's get to the reading today. Now today is Tuesday, and today is June 4th. Not like yesterday. I said yesterday was June 4th. Trying to get a day ahead of me. Alrighty, let's see what the messages are today. This is the chaos shuffle that you see me doing. Doesn't matter how you mix them up. And I hover over the cards, feeling the energy that calls to me. I'll try to do this before I start, just so you guys are not watching me. Just wait for a feeling here. Alrighty, I think we got them. Okay. Alrighty, let's see what we have now. Alrighty, this is a pretty, look at all these reversals. Wow. Yikes. We're starting off with the Ten of Swords. And it's reversed, which is referring to almost being stabbed in the back and betrayed really badly, where it hurt. I mean, it really hurt. And that is coming to a healing. Now, the Five of Pentacles is reversed. And if it was upright, It would be representing, you see these two people, they're sort of almost like they're just sitting outside a door looking around, but they're not going through the door. And it's in representations, it could be to finances or to moving forward with your life. And instead of doing something for themselves, they're sort of like lingering around the streets waiting for someone to help them do it. But it's upside down, which is showing that you are no longer sitting outside waiting for someone to give you a handout, help you. You've taken action in your own terms, and you're walking through that door yourself now. Then you got the Lovers upside down, which obviously love is not a factor. There is not a good companionship, relationship, and it could be because of this betrayal that's gone on, that their relationship is not well. And then you have the King of Swords. He's my worst king of the deck, because he's a person who when he speaks his thoughts, his tongue is like this sword. He lashes out and hurts people. He doesn't think before he speaks. The next card is my Knight of Wands, which is upside down, showing that opportunities are not being delivered to you at this moment. And then I have the Magician upside down. Magician is being upside down like this is manipulating. He's tricking people, saying one thing and then doing another, or trying to portray themselves as one kind of energy, and then behind the scenes they're a different energy. It's all surrounded by manipulation. Again, we have the Nine of Wands upside down, which is showing that opportunities that could be before you, which would be flourishing, they're not even available to you due to the scenario that you got going on here. The High Priestess is upside down, which is showing you're not following any of your intuition on anything. You're going too much by ego, and maybe you think you're following your intuition, but it's your ego that's really directing you. We end this with death that's upside down, which is showing that this whole ugly scenario is something that's ongoing, and it needs to be changed. This is a pretty ugly scenario. And the good thing about it, like I've always said, is that cards are not set in stone, so this can be all changed. It's the actions that you need to take forward now. Now, you have been betrayed. You have been hurt. Whether that's been done in friendships, in families, in your workplace, wherever relationship could be had, you've been betrayed, you've been hurt, you know what that betrayal feels like. And the good thing is that this is upside down to show that you're not still harboring from that pain. You've started to move on. You know, the healing part of that feeling. But you got all this going on, which this betrayal might have affected. everything else that's going on in your life. Now, you're healing from that betrayal. So I'm glad to see that this card is reversed, because it's showing that you have taken the step to go through that door. That was not an easy decision to make, to stand up for yourself with nobody to guide you, nobody to hold your hand, nobody to just advise you. And on your own, you took that step and you went through that door. Now, this is a great thing, but through that door, there's lots of greatness waiting for you. But what you got to do is, you might be physically healing from that pain. Maybe your heart was hurting. And the thing about harboring pain, it could affect you in an illness. I mean, if this was something so painful and hurt your heart, you could be having a heart condition going on now. Maybe you're feeling heart palpitations. Maybe you're just feeling like that tightness in your chest. Or maybe you've got problems going on with your throat area, your throat chakra. These are swords, and swords, these are upside down, okay, which that shows that you've dealt and you're already on the healing aspect of it, and you have gone through this door. But possibly what you've been doing is you've been holding on to things that you need to say that you haven't said yet. So you might think like, whatever, I'm just going to go forward and not worry about it. But you can't just pretend that something didn't occur. There's things that sometimes aren't okay until you confront them. They need to be confronted. That pain was there for a reason. It wasn't for you to feel and then like, okay, I'm okay now and I'm moving forward. No, this pain, you need to confront the situation. You need to understand why that pain was there. And if you need to express yourself, then that needs to be done. Otherwise, you're going to think that you're doing the right thing, but by holding on to things that you're not releasing, it's affecting you in the physical form. You might have throat problems, you might have heart problems physically. You might have abdominal problems because you're holding it all that in. That becomes stress. Stress is the number one killer. So stress can do a doozy on us. You are moving forward, but just feel like you're done with feeling the pain and moving forward is not necessarily the complete thing that is finished for you. This might need confrontation, because even though you walk through that door all by yourself with nobody to hold you, you still got a whole lot of baloney going on here. Okay? So what you got to do with this healing, I've talked about releasing it. You got to deal with your emotions. You've got to deal with the way you're feeling with trust, the way you're feeling about a relationship with another person, and basically the trusting with another person. You can't let whatever happened hold you to look at everyone thinking that everyone is that same person, and you're going to end up like this with everyone. You can't look at it like that. So when you start to deal with your emotions, this card's going to turn around, and you're going to start understanding your emotions, and maybe part of those emotions are what you express to be part of that healing for you. There's someone who continuously tries to run you. It's that person's way or the highway. If you don't see the same thing that this person sees, you're getting knocked down, you're getting cut up with their tongue. This person needs to be confronted by you, okay? And that person needs to know that, listen, you don't run me anymore. I run me. I'm in charge of me. I was a little person and I had two parents, or I had, guardians who took care of me, and I had to follow the rules. Now I'm an adult, and now it's time for me to take care of me, and I take rules and orders for myself. So this guy needs to be turned around with that confrontation, and he no longer can be the person who's trying to run things. Then you start to, you see, this got turned around. Now this turns around, and now this knight here delivers opportunities, because this no longer holds you back. So, and it's facing this this person who, it's not that these people like to be evil, or like to be mean, or always in charge. It's what they've grown used to acting like. They've grown used to being in control. From their childhood, they could have been put in a position that they had to maintain control for a long time, and in order to be this mean, controlling, my way or the highway kind of person was the only way they knew how to control situations that otherwise would have gone out of hand. Well, the problem with that is they also learned to carry that through their adulthood, and they don't know how to have a balance with that. So it goes overboard. But now that you don't allow this person to run you anymore, because no one should run us but us, now you've got the opportunity of opportunities to be delivered to you, I should say. This then gets turned around, okay? Because you're working on yourself. You're healing, okay, but you're not pushing the healing under the rug, so to speak, thinking like, okay, you know what, I've gotten past this and it's under the rug and I'm moving forward. No, you can't just, I told you can't do it that way. Whatever you're healing from, it needs to be faced. And all of these issues I am coming up here with, that the cards are showing, are a lot of issues that are part of this healing process. So now with your healing and really looking at yourself and not hiding from what your pain has been, now you've got the power to manifest this. And however that is, first of all, with all this coming to be, it's not something that just occurred. It's not something that just came out of the blue and hit you like this. This is something that's been ongoing. This is something that you have been literally dealing with probably your entire life by different people. So you attract the same crowd of people who end up being this controlling person. And unfortunately, you trust people, you give, your heart out, you don't see a reason for any kind of betrayal, but then you're betrayed in such a way that it's almost devastating. And it takes a long time. If you see, this is like the betrayal. I mean, sometimes it feels like you're trying to almost be killed. It's such a devastating betrayal. So being upside down like this, you are now you're healing from it, okay? But and you've made a step to walk through that door all by yourself with nobody guiding you, because you're used to someone being around and maybe telling you like which way to walk or think or whatever. Which is probably where this person comes in, where you surround yourself with someone who is very my way or the highway, extremely controlling, vindictive, and every time their mouth opens, it's like a slash cut into you. So in taking that first step, you need to face your emotions. You need to find out why whatever this was about has to affect your relationship. It shouldn't have to, especially if it came out of a whim. Was that person real, or was that person also troubled? And so you both sort of clash with the same kind of problem, because obviously you were attracted to that person, but that person was attracted to you too for your own energies. So there has to be some similarities between the two of you that's going on here. Because I'm changing these around. This is, and I'm showing you how you can change this, because this was an ugly spread right now. This was a really ugly spread. But you always hear me tell you that it can always be changed. This card turned around is you're no longer looking at situations to manipulate. You're no longer trying to worm your way into situations. Now you're thinking of yourself, and you're thinking of what you need to manifest for yourself. What do you need to think about? What do you need to see through? What do you need to work on for you? Not anyone else, but for you, that you're going to manifest that goodness. That, you got all these opportunities waiting to be delivered. That's you bringing that opportunity with you, because you changed that energy. You're not allowing someone to control you anymore. And you will have relationships, but you will understand that you're not gonna have a relationship because of being attracted to the negative. You're gonna change your own energy to know that you're gonna surround yourself by good energy. With that changing, here's more opportunities. Okay, so there's opportunities being delivered. Well, here they are. Look at all these wands here, and they all got like these flowers and greenery, and she's like holding on to actually one that she's looking at, and she's got all these opportunities coming at her that she gets to look upon and decide for herself, which one that she wants to go. These are all great opportunities. So that was all changed all because you decided that with your healing and taking that step by yourself, you're not going to just move forward and still deal with all that ugly energy. You're changing it because now you want to work this. You want to work this so that from here on out, you got better stuff coming at you. You got better energy to look forward to. You got every minute is just something more to look forward to, because you're dealing with you. You're dealing with issues that you've been holding on to since you were young, because this is only happening because of the crap you dealt with. And we deal with crap because our parents dealt with crap, and their parents dealt with crap, and that crap is just passed on from generation to generation to generation. And what really needs to get done here is, the only way to stop it is that you are the one that has to stop it. You're the one who has to change it. And in changing that, maybe you should, if you still have relatives you can talk to them. Maybe you can find out with researching, like what occurred to them to help the ancestors heal with all this. Because this is something that you're not that you were born with. It's something that has been acquired through all your generations. Here's the High Priestess card. Now this gets turned around. Why does this get turned around? Because you're working on yourself so what's the word? So specifically now. Each cell in your body, it's basically you're working, and there's so many cells and atoms in our body. So you're working each one of those, wanting to accomplish this. So now you start following your intuition, and you're working all these things, but then your intuition is going to be working too, as well as your ego. And we literally live with our ego running things. But now let your intuition start to come through. Listen to it. Quiet your mind. That's the ego. Tell the ego to shut the hell up. Let your intuition come through. Because then what happens is that this death card, this means that that old you, that old toxic, bad energy you get to release it, because now you transition. You transition into this next path of your journey, the next step of your journey, into being the person that you have, or that you should have always been. And now you're going to learn to be. Let this crap stop with you. And maybe you have children that are like older now. They're not young, but maybe you have young children. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter for us to start learning all this, to start changing all this. Start teaching your children too. Work together with your children. Especially if they're young, then you have that to help your children understand and see, so that they don't grow into the adults that are bothered and troubled and don't feel confident and let people run them. And usually when we do that, it's because of fear. It's a lot of fear that's instilled, and because we grew up with that fear. So this has got to be changed, and I'm not even going to leave this into the ugly spread that it was. I'm going to leave it into this positive spread, because this is what you need to strive for. And it, like I said yesterday in one of those cards, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in 5 minutes. It's not going to be done by the end of the week. This is something that needs to be worked on until your last breath, because this is something we all need to master as humans, and we're probably going to be doing it to our last breath. There's a lot of troubles and emotions that are troubled, and a lot of our past is a part of that. And so we need to start facing it instead of running from it. And I'm not saying that you should be negative and live miserably with going back in your past. But what I am saying is that in order to move forward and see the positive, you've got to face the negative. It's not a matter of don't think the negative so you can move into the positive. Because the negative is just sort of going to be a shadow behind you. And then you'll still be attracting another person that's the shadow in front of you with that shadow behind you. But here, this is all about you. Me. This is something we're going to work on until our last breath. There is not one perfect person out there. So, I'm going to say we can all do this. I believe in it. And like I said, it's not going to happen. And okay, I told you guys what to do, and snap of a finger, you're all fixed. No, but you're still going to have those moments. It's a habit you've created. How old are you? Imagine that's how many years you've been this way. It doesn't just go away. That's a habit that you learned since you were young, because that habit helped you deal with life. But now it's time to deal with life for yourself, because you were dealing with life basically to get on with everything around you, with people coming at you and trying to deal with those people. Well, we're not dealing with those people anymore. And not saying that you're never going to deal with those people. What I mean is that we're always going to have these kind of people around, but that doesn't mean this person runs you, that this person decides. Even at our workplace, you're going to have, sometimes you've got these bosses that they just don't know how to be decent. They don't know how to talk. They have absolutely no people skills yet. You couldn't tell them that. They would say otherwise. But just because they're your boss doesn't mean they're allowed to break you like that. Everyone has is equal there, and if they're like being disrespectful, especially in front of other people, you have the right to put them in place. I'm not telling you, unless you can afford to tell them, what, fuck off. But this is a person you don't need to let control you. You have the right to say, listen, I don't understand why your personality is this way. It feels like it's coming at me. I don't think I deserve to be treated like that. I don't think, or maybe it's coming at everyone, but really we got to talk for ourselves. But I don't deserve to be treated like that. I would like to be treated and spoken to with respect, just as you wish to receive that respect too. So you're not being bitchy or anything, but you are you're standing up for yourself, because there's no one that should treat you like that. And because of this, what you're doing is you're taking control of you. And that it's part of loving yourself. I mean, our number one goal in life, no matter what you accomplish out there, is to love yourself for who you've come from, your ancestors, and for who is brought forth from you, to carry that forth so that they know too. So you guys, this is today's reading. I'm leaving it all positive because we are going to make sure that we do the positive only and not go into that ugliness that the spread started out with. I hope this helps you guys. It gives you some guidance. It's not an easy thing, but if we want this, we can do this. Until tomorrow, guys, have a great day. Blessed be.